How to easily clean the 1911. Okay, so to clean the 1911, we'll need some ball stalls, something to push the cleaning swabs or patches to the barrel. I like to use paper towels, some gun grease, and if it's really dirty, maybe a wire brush, and then the brush that you can stuff to the barrel as well. Okay, to get started, we're going to take this tool. You don't necessarily need it, but you'll hate yourself if you don't have it. And then you're going to go turn this front thing to the left, but not all the way. You're just going to go to where it clicks right there. And so this doesn't fly for the next state. Hold your thumb there, push this the rest of the way, and your spring, and that part up there will come out. This is going to rotate the other way, and then you'll be able to see right here, I'll show you. And there's a little notch right there, and it'll come right out. Okay, from this point, we can pull the slide back. Make sure your safety is off. And then there's a little notch in the slide right there, and you'll line that up with the top of that part right there, and then it'll pop out. And then from here, your slide will come off from your frame. Your guide rod will come out, and then your barrel, put this little part forward, and your barrel will come out as well. Okay, now it's completely disassembled. We're going to take ball saw. We're going to go hit every single part. Barrel a bit. This guide rod doesn't do much. Spring usually doesn't get too dirty either. That part, I'll just wipe it down. Don't get that dirty. Inside your slide, you'll see it gets pretty dirty back here on the bolt face of the slide, and then around usually the front of the gun will get pretty dirty as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit those spots with the ball saw, kind of let it soak for a little bit. Ball saw doesn't hurt any plastics, so when we get to the frame, if you have plastics or rubber here, you don't have to worry about that. Now, 1911 frames, they don't have a ton of exposed crap typically that can get super dirty, which is nice, but definitely hit your feed ramp. And then anywhere else that you see is dirty on yours. This one hasn't had too many rounds through it before it's clean, so it's not too bad. Okay, then we're going to take paper towels, and we're just going to wipe everything down. So I like to start with one part at a time, finish that part before just kind of randomly wiping through. Okay, so I'm going to wipe down the barrel. I'll definitely focus right here on this part of the feed ramp, and then the outside, and then I'll shove a couple paper towels through the barrel as well. Okay, to shove paper towels through the barrel, I'll just kind of twist it, stick them in, take some sort of rod to shove it through. Okay, now the barrel's on for the guide rod. We'll just wipe the outside and then the back, and then that's it. Okay, for the spring, I'll just kind of spin it through my hands real fast. That's done as well. Okay, this part, I'll just kind of wipe it down the outside and call it a day. Same with this part, doesn't get dirty. Wipe it down as well. Okay, now for your slide, this is part that can get a bit dirtier. This is where maybe if you have an old toothbrush or something, it can be helpful. For that, you might need to scrub back here, and then as well as where your casing interfaces with the slide. So right here on the bolt face. Okay, aside for that, we're just going to wipe it out really good back here, up here, and then wipe down the whole inside and out. Okay, once you get all the insides cleaned out, go ahead and wipe down the outside. And then I don't usually disassemble the slide. If you want to do that, that is a video for another day. Okay, so now moving on to the frame. We're going to definitely clean a lot here on this feeding ramp, and then anywhere like where the slide is sliding, and then anywhere else that you see that's dirty on your gun. So we'll go ahead and do that. I have pretty small fingers, so I can usually just take my pinky and get in the mag well, like all the way between going in from the top and from the bottom. If you don't, then maybe grab your rod and wrap the paper towel around there and then go in. Either way, it works. Sometimes having small hands is really nice for cleaning stuff and fixing stuff. Almost forgot this part. Same thing, super simple. Just wipe the inside and out. That's about it. Okay, now that we're done with that, we're going to put it back together. But before we put it back together, I do like to put a little bit of grease. This is the grease I use. Any gun grease will work. So anywhere that you see the finish starting to wear through is where the slide is interfacing with the frame. So I like to put it kind of on the fronts, because as it slides back, it'll kind of push it along all the way back. Honestly, anywhere where you see that rubbing is where you're going to want to put grease. Okay, so those spots are usually the front of the rails here, front of this rail here, a little bit here, sometimes right here on top, and then this little guy that sticks out right here a little bit as well. Okay, now we're going to reassemble it. So first things first is we are going to slide the barrel in here from the front. It's important to have this thing not totally folded up, and then we're going to put the guide rod in as well, and then we're going to slide this onto the frame. Okay, so when assembling it, you can see that part that I had down. That's what that pin is going to go through. So you're going to want to line it up with this hole. Take this pin, stick it through there, and it will go through your barrel as well. That's what's going to hold your barrel in. And then I usually put my thumb here, hold it down, and then as I kind of go up, and it's not too hard till you get to there, hold down here, and then make sure your slide is lined up with that little notch in the slide. And then we're just going to push it in, and now it can slide back and forth. Okay, this thing's pretty loose because we don't have the spring in yet. So we're gonna put that point up. We're gonna take this guy, we're gonna put it in like that, and then we're gonna turn it this way. Grab our spring. Honestly, it doesn't really matter which end is up or down. I usually put this side that's completely closed down. Put that down, and then we're gonna grab this part, put it on the end of the spring with your thumb. Push down on that to guide it into the slide, and then you're going to push this right like that, and then you're going to go grab your tool and close it the rest of the way, and you'll be able to hear it just like that. Okay, and there you go. Now you have a clean 1911. I usually work that grease just a little bit, and then usually get a bunch of extra grease on the back here. Just wipe that off, no big deal. Ain't gonna be that messy at all. And then what I will do is I'll take a clean paper towel that we haven't used this for anything yet, and then I'll go ahead and wipe down the entire exterior of the firearm. Okay, and there you have it. That's a clean 1911, ready to go to the range.